Hi there, how are you doing today? This is Anna Strapnin coming to you live from Fort Lauderdale. Let's see who do we have on today. Hope you all had a great holiday yesterday and this weekend. Let's see who do we have on. If you're just joining me, please type in where you're watching this from. I would love to say hi. Let's see who do we have. So my question for you today is, how stressed do you feel right now? How is your level? What is your level of stress? I just did a little survey an hour ago, and the results are quite interesting, I must say. So if this is the first time you're ever watching any of my videos, my name is Anna Strapnin. I help people get healthy, live longer with less pain, more energy, better sleep, and I also help them reach their time and financial freedom. So let's talk about stress. So what is stress? Stress is when we feel that everything is becoming too much. We are overloaded and we wonder whether and how we can cope with the pressures that are upon us. So that's really how the feeling that we get when we are overloaded with the work or whatever it is situation. So it's basically a real challenge in our well-being and health. A little of stress is probably okay, just so our life is not boring, but when it's getting too much, when it's affecting our physical and our mental health, it's becoming a serious problem. So there is a difference between stress and stressors. Stressors are usually like triggers or stimulants that will make us become stressed. So what are those? So for example, like noises, unpleasant people, like bad driver in the traffic, going on a first date. So more stressors we have in our life, more stressed we're gonna get. And then how does our body respond to stress? It's kind of like a fight or flight response. So our sympathetic nervous system will produce chemicals such as cortisol, adrenaline and non-adrenaline, and it will make our body either run from the situation or fight the situation. So when that happens, our heart rate goes up, our breathing goes up, we sweat, we are more alert. Our blood flow is higher and more rapid, but our digestive system and our immune system, they slow down. So that's why when we are under lots of stress, when your immune system and your digestive system is slowed down, we tend to gain weight, but also we tend to get more infections and we get to be ill. So it's just a chemical response from our body. And how we deal with stress, it's also very important. So usually when we know of like different resources and skills that will help us deal with that stressful situation better, usually that's how we respond. We respond better to it. But when we just think that something is like completely out of our control, we don't respond so well and we get more stressed. And that's basically like some people deal with stress better, some people deal with stress worse. I just recently had my yearly review and I was told that I deal with stress really well, but it could be that I'm not stressed about staying on the job like most people are. I mean, that's like one of the biggest stress is actually keeping your job. Like people are stressed and worried, are they going to get fired the next day? And this can be huge effect on our health. So just being like indifferent in there, it's my great tip to not to be stressed about it. Like also, stress can cause you heart attacks. It's linked to heart attacks. So no wonder like we have like younger and younger people like being brought having a heart attack, and it's directly linked to stress. So really serious thing for our health. So what are some of the effects of stress that we can feel? For example, like we can have back pains, we can have chest pains, childhood obesity. So they're training our parents to the way to treat their children, because that's becoming a bigger and bigger problem, that childhood obesity, just the way we're making kids' lives stressful. So that's very important too. We get headaches, heart disease, high blood pressure, nervous twitches, sleeping difficulties, upset stomach. There's just some of like physical effects of stress. Then also our possible effects on our thoughts and our feelings. So it's anxiety, depression, anger, insecurity, forgetfulness, fatigue, sadness, irritability, and also problem concentrating. But that's not all. It also affects our behaviors. So it will affect, like, we can end up having like certain food cravings, weight gain or weight loss. Some people lose weight when they're under stress, but some people overeat because they're called like eating under stress or stressful eaters, and they end up gaining weight when they're under lots of stress. Relationship problems, but also different addictions, alcohol, drug, and nicotine addiction as well is possible effect of stress too. So let's see, like, what are some of the main causes of stress. Number one, whenever they did the research, number one cause of stress, and you can probably guess this, is a job. So all sorts of different problems on a job, like fear of losing a job, all of that is basically like the biggest stressor. Even like getting a promotion can be a stressor. Then also family problems. There are all sorts of different family problems, financial problems, illness, lack of time. Lots of people with like really like they work a lot and they just have lack of time, and that can be very stressful, not having enough time for yourself, for your family. That can be a big stressor. Then relationship problems, it can definitely affect like lack of time, and like all of that can affect our problems at work, can affect our relationships too. Losing a job, I already said that, like, so anything job related, it's a high stressor. Also driving in a bad traffic, like when you have a speedy driver or somebody like not using lights when they turn, and it can like definitely like trigger our stress, right? Especially if you're driving in a heavy traffic, like driving to work and driving back from work. That can be quite stressful, don't you agree? And then conflicts at the workplace. So not everyone gets along, and you know, lots of times you will find that you don't get along with a certain person, and just like different conflicts like that will really be high stressors. So let's talk about solution. And it was really interesting. I want to go back to the survey I just did like an hour ago, and I just wanted to see it, and like to prove myself right, if the people who are going to say that they have low stress, what kind of jobs they do versus the ones with higher stress. So I'm not really sure, like, but everyone who put down like really high numbers, 7, 8, 9, 11, 27, I'm not sure like what their professions are, but the people who work in a home-based business with me, their stress levels are like tops 3. So that was something that I was like kind of thinking about today, and it really is like that, because doing what I do is really like low stress, because you do not have any stressors. Like, you're the one who is controlling your life. So you're controlling like when you work, when you take rest, when you take family time, when you do whatever. So you don't have that somebody on top of you like giving you all these stressful situations. And let me just tell you how, like, with all of these main causes of stress, how working from home can help. So just let's pick one. Let's pick like relationship problems. What is the main reason that we have relationship problems? Usually it's finances, right? So couples often argue when the finances are not there, or if they have to overwork, like both of them have to like work like millions of hours a week, they never see each other, so that's becoming a problem. So they're making their like ends meet, but they're fighting because they don't have enough time, like enough time for each other and just enough time for themselves. So like in relationships, you will usually find that finances are the cause of that. And then like how can the home-based business deal with like job issues, traffic issues? You work from home, hello, we don't have to travel anywhere, we don't have to like be in that traffic, you know, when like people like spend hours and hours in traffic a week, we don't have to do that. We can travel whenever we want, we can schedule our time that way. So that's one thing. And then like the biggest stressor of all is the job, you know, like lack of like this fear of losing a job, having conflicts at work, and not making enough money, working too much, not having personal time. So all that big stressor is gone because you have your own business. And most importantly, you're making your the income potential is unlimited, so you're reaching out to that financial freedom, and that is giving you time freedom. So isn't that wonderful? And that's why I love it. And I'm like, so like if you go back to the survey I just did and put it down what your stress levels are, and like just see like what are these people doing that their stress level is so low. I can say like ever since I started doing this, my stress levels have just been like 3 tops, and that usually lasts 10 minutes. So another great thing is you're actually in the process of doing that, you're doing a self-development. So you're training yourself how to think positive, how to make the best out of your day, and that automatically will reduce the level of stress. So yeah, so that was my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some value from this, and I would love to chat. Personal message me if you would like to chat with me, and I will answer all of them by the end of the day today. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.